Hey, y'all, bunch of punch here, and I got some more ranked Street Fighter 6 footage for you all here. As true to form with the new Street Fighter 6 DLC character, I, for the life of me, cannot find any Elena players to fight against. I think of the, well, for context, I was taking a little break from Street Fighter 6 to play other games. In particular, I've been playing Lies of P, having fun with that. If any of you want to see my any Liza P gameplay, I'm definitely open to that. Just leave a comment down below, and I'll post it up when I can. But no, I've been coming back to Street Fighter 6 because Elena came out. It's been a little while, and I thought, oh, now I can finally fight. Get some practice against Elena, against against a new character. And I think I've only found her in like a casual set where I was playing Marissa, right? Just get a break from Akuma. Character thoroughly trashed me. I cannot get a read on Elena's pressure to save my life. I don't know when she's like unsafe on strings, usual. I don't know how much of it is like new character, new character adjustment, adjusting to fighting a new character, or how much of it is specific to Elena because she has like some crazy animations with her moves, some flourishes and stuff like that. So I'm hoping to get more practice against her, especially in a ranked set. But I cannot find any Elena players, which is weird because the character's been out for a little while at the time of this recording, and I thought, oh, coming back into Street Fighter 6 after taking a little bit of a break, surely I'll be able to find some Elena players, but especially since I'm like low mastering. I thought, oh, sure, I'll find like some 1300 MR Elenas. I think I'm past the period where like new Elena players are like ranking to master rank. Like I should be fighting some, right? But no, just can't find any. I had a similar problem with but eventually that fixed itself out with time. Maybe the same thing will happen with Elena, or maybe she's just an unpopular character. I have no idea. If any of you listening to this have come across any Elena, maybe you could tell me if they're popular where you're fighting in your region or like where you're queuing for matches, but I just can't find any to save my life. So, but I guess the other thing I want to talk about while I have the time here is that Street Fighter 6 recently announced the Season 3 DLC characters. And it's, in particular, it's going to be Sagat, Alex, Ingrid, and C. Viper. I'm not sure if they're coming in that order. I know Sagat is coming out first, but I'm not sure if, it's going to follow with, Alex, Ingrid, and C. Viper, or what the order is going to be for that. And I can finally give my thoughts on that on this new season because I know there was a leak a while back ago that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't feel right doing it. But so I figured I'd talk about it now, give some of my thoughts on it. Overall, I'm very excited for it. I kind of have a rule for myself that with Street Fighter DLC season, if I'm interested in playing at least two of the characters, I pick up the season pass. So for the first season, I was interested in playing Akuma, Sea Viper, and Ed. Right, so I decided to pick up the first season, and eventually I started maining Akuma, took him to Master Rank. I passed on season 2 because the only character I was really interested in playing was M. Bison. Tried him out with the rental ticket. Not really for me. But no, in this new season, I'm curious to try out Sagat, Alex, and Ingrid. Especially I think especially Sagat, I might pick him up to main. I might make him the other character I take to master rank. I'll have to see how he plays and if I like him enough, or maybe Alex too, because I've been clamoring to play like another grappler, that isn't like Sagat or Manon. As much as I like, oh my god, did I say Sagat? I meant to say Zangief or Manon. So, but no, overall, I'm very happy with this new Season 3 DLC characters. Although we didn't get Makoto, which is the character I really want. But, hopefully we'll get that in a future season. I guess that being said, though, I feel like there's a little bit of redundancy being introduced with some of these characters. I mean, granted, character redundancy isn't, I feel like Street Fighter has probably moved past that as like, quote unquote an issue, right? Because how many like Shotos did Street Fighter 4 and 5 end up with, right? Um, but yeah, so, I mean, some redundancy with like Sagat being another Shoto character. Alex is like another grappler, and I don't know. To me, I always prefer when fighting games, kind of. I mean, this might come from just playing older fighting games, but I prefer like smaller rosters where each character fits a very specific niche for like a player. Like I think Akatsuki Blitzkampf is like the example I would point to that kind of does this well. It's a smaller roster, but I feel like every character, for the most part, has its like purpose in terms of like, play or fitting into a certain play style. Um, and, but also, I guess to be fair again to Street Fighter 2, like even with a lot of the Shotos, I think they do a decent enough job of like distinguishing all of them. Like reuse the balanced one. Ken is like more of a rushdown type plan to him. Akuma is like the glass cannon, and apparently Sagat is going to be more of a zoning type. So that'll be interesting because I always thought Akuma was a really good zoner. So we'll have to see how. So I have a feeling that Sagat might be up my alley, but we'll have to see. Especially with how they map him out in modern controls. Same thing with Alex though. Having another grappler in Street Fighter 6 again kind of seems weird. Because to me, like the main three grapplers are, I think, Sagat or not Sagat. I keep mixing up Sagat and like Zangief, Manon, and Lily, right? And like you have Zangief, that's like your old school grappler, right? Manon is like more new school, right? And Lily's kind of, I guess, kind of in between. I don't know. I always think it's weird to call Lily a grappler just because she has a command grab. But yeah. So I guess you're adding like what role, what niche is Alex going to fill that isn't already being filled by Manon and Zangief, right? Maybe there's something I'm missing because, granted, I don't have that much experience with Alex as a character in general. Like maybe they're going to introduce some new mechanics to Alex that will make him really stand out as a grappler. So I'm curious to see about that. With Ingrid, I know Ingrid kind of has this mixed history where a lot of people don't like her because they don't like Capcom Fighting Jam. I think Capcom Fighting Jam honestly was like the second fighting game I played outside of Capcom vs. SNK Mark of the Millennium. Kind of dating myself a little here, but and so I was young and I didn't know what made Capcom Fighting Jam bad. Right. I still don't think it's like the worst fighting game out there or anything like that. It's just, it does have its like obvious issues when you compare it to other Capcom fighting games, even of the time. But no, I have full faith that like the Street Fighter 6 team will adapt Ingrid really well because they've been knocking it out of the park with like new characters or like with how they've been reinventing older characters. Like, they've done such a good job. I think a lot of the characters they've introduced in Street Fighter 6 are going to be like, I could see them being like mainstays or at least like requested DLC. Like Marissa is insanely popular. Manon is popular. Aki is insanely popular. So no, I think I'm really excited to see how they reinterpret Ingrid. I guess the only character I'm least excited for is C. Viper. Not that she isn't a cool character, but she isn't for me. I'm glad she's in the game because I think she's going to be unique enough to fill like a very particular niche play style for some players. And I always like that, when a character could come in and like pull people in because they accommodate a style that isn't currently being accommodated in the game with the current characters. So overall, really excited for season 3. I really hope that like Sagat and Alex are fun to play. Well, I want to try out Ingrid. I want to see what they do with her. Funny thing with Ingrid before I let you go is before I let you all go is that she was such a weird pick. I thought that she was actually like code for like a code name for like another character they were going to introduce. To throw off hackers or anything, because I remember there was like a post where they interviewed one of the developers and they said like, oh, we're open to doing like more crossovers, like potentially a crossover with like Mortal Kombat. So I thought Ingrid was gonna be like code, and really it was gonna be like another crossover character, maybe from Mortal Kombat. But no, it is actually Ingrid. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for me. Enjoy the rest of the footage and take care.
No problems. Got to press on.
Final round. Fight! Akuma, win! Round one. Fight! Round two. Fight!